We're talking the boys. We want to have a general conversation here as we go down to this finale. Want to talk about the V1 and if that storyline actually ruined the season. This is Minor League Films. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're chasing 5K, so appreciate you helping us get there. And I will leave down questions below. So answer those. Let us know what you thought about the season and what do you think about the upcoming finale. Without further ado, let's jump into it.
We're going all the way, no matter the cost.
So, Scotty, you're back. We are post, I guess, my now famous episode 7 rant where I thought this storyline has kind of gone to hell and really this show in general. But we're going to try to nail down a couple things. This will be a little video series getting ready for the finale. But the first thing we wanted to talk about was just the general V1 storyline. So, to the stage here, pretty much this whole season has gauged on V1 tracking down the V1 and this virus that had originally started in Gen V, which I never thought it would be a good idea to pour that storyline over without these two shows being a little more connected, which they are not. So I think that was kind of a misdirection. But it seems ever since then, they've been hell-bent on this V1 storyline and this virus. And to the point of we now get to episode 7, the V1 didn't even factor in episode 7 at all. We've wasted episodes where characters have been trying to track this down. Pretty much the first 5 episodes of the season was this chase for V1. We missed out on good character deaths. We missed out on good character development. We missed out on fleshing certain characters out. We're here now to the finale. Still don't know what O'Father's doing there. They haven't got enough time with that character. Black Noir barely got 5 minutes. Which became filler because they killed him. Firecracker, another character we could have used more time with. Now she's gone. Frenchie won't complain about because we spent seasons and seasons with him. But even Sister Sage, we haven't got a lot of time with those characters. And even to the point where episode 7, we're with characters we don't even know in Dognut and Catline. So I felt like this V1 situation has totally threw this whole season really off. And I thought if they had just gone with a traditional plan, I think you think the same. They had just gone with a traditional plan of the boys having a plan to take out Homelander and trying to execute that, putting themselves in dangerous situations, or something happens where Sage can really just find out where the boys are and kind of just track them down maybe one by one or in certain scenarios. I think this would have worked a lot better post episode 1.
I think anything after episode 3 would have worked better than what we've got. I feel like this whole season has been wasted chasing the whole V1 thing because some episodes there really wasn't much chasing or they wouldn't get much detective work done. Like I think the Teenage Kicks episode was a fun episode, but the whole first of all, Homelander just needs V1 so he doesn't age. Fine, that's cool. But I feel like once he got it and he had that big showing with the lasers, we didn't get anything out of that. Because from episode like 4 to 7, not much was going on. And when they finally found it, what happened? Because the whole episode 7 should have and could have probably been used to show, okay, not only am I not going to age, I got a nice little power boost, and he's going in. Like he's going in on people that don't support him. He's maybe even show his eyes going anymore or flying fast or anything like that, or lifting up a building, some kind
to
of
show off the power.
Something that would have said, okay, we're going to get a nice payoff of this. He's just the same guy so far, but he just says he can't age anymore.
Well,
so
I will hold there. It wasn't about him. Yeah, it wasn't about him aging. It was about being immune to this virus because it didn't work on Soldier Boy.
Okay,
that was the main. I thought aging is a side effect. You also don't age, and you know what I'm saying. And so that's a side effect. But the main thing was because Soldier Boy wasn't killed by the V1 virus. I mean, he wasn't killed by the virus because he had the V1. So Homelander wanted to stay immune to that and not be susceptible to the virus. But also aging is a part of him getting the V1. Now he won't age.
Because that's why I thought that was one of the main reasons, because I remember Soldier Boy made a couple comments and other characters said, yeah, you'll die. You'll die. So I remember looking at his face. So I thought that. But that's fine. But we don't see anything. So it's like, okay, we had all these episodes this season, the hunt for V1, and what happened? Nothing so far. And it was just a waste. When we could have really got A-Train for like an episode or 2 more. If you took out episode 4, 5, and 6 and changed them, we could have got some nice time with some characters. Maybe even if you're going to kill off Noir, have him in the deep, have a nice face off. Doesn't even have to be completely physical. You can have a fight of the words, and they could have just knocked around in that radio station and blew up the radio station in the fight. Something cool. So far, it's like mediocre deaths, plot points that will not be finished. There's no way in this 1 hour finale they're gonna be able to finish all this stuff. So I don't even know where this is going. I feel like the V1 completely wasted this season.
And you want to know the biggest reason why V1 has wasted the entire season? Because they literally just showed us in episode 7 they can write right around that with Soldier Boy having the power to still take powers away. They're juicing up Kimiko so she can roll up and cook it out his blood. You have a character like Marie who they've kind of nerfed her just walking into the season, but she still, in theory, has the ability to take V out of somebody's blood. It's already been mentioned. It's already been talked about. They can write themselves right out of that whole plot loop that Homelander now has V1 to be immune from the virus. And you do those things, you can kill him regardless of a virus. So it's like you've given us all this time for something you can literally just write a loophole of. And the way this writing has gone this season, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're exactly going to write a loophole to just depower him when you could have just did that anyway and killed him.
Yeah. I don't understand this whole wait up and build up for this episode.
Yeah,
or for this finale.
Because this is the thing. And I think just going back, and I know a lot of people didn't like Gen V. They didn't watch Gen V. A quick thing on this virus that has poured over to the boys. The reason, some people won't know this, the reason this virus was created is because one of the characters from Gen V, one of the main characters in season 1, knew about what happened on the plane with Homelander and Maeve. And she basically, her family was on that plane that crashed. And she said, you know what? If this is what she was going to do and they're not actually heroes, I'm killing all of them. That was her plan. That character has been long dead, even in Gen V. So talking about years now, this character has been dead. So without that character having maybe somebody with an ulterior motive just to wipe out Supes, now that they've adapted to Butcher, other than just killing Homelander and now moving on, and I get it, he has beef with a lot of Supes, so it worked because he doesn't like Supes like that. But him taking on this whole storyline of this virus has kind of been silly because in Gen V, they had this whole lab like working on this thing. They had these people around the clock. They were testing these different Supes. That storyline probably should have died with those characters. We do have one left who was the girl's dad. I forget, Stan Edgar's granddaughter. Her dad was one of the scientists from in that building. But it was kind of the only thing really keeping that storyline alive. And now it's become the boys' general mission when the boys have been good at wiping out Supes without having some cheat code virus. Just finding ways to separate them, finding people with powers to manipulate them, and getting them in bad situations. Understand Homelander is all powerful, but if you bring in a character like Soldier Boy who can exact power, definitely just gives you a way to kill that character without having some gimmicky virus to do it. That has led into this V1 thing, and this totally, and like this would give people a reason not to like Gen V, even though it has nothing to do with Gen V, and them adapting the storyline in. But that's a very much reason why it's like, dang, Gen V just messed this whole thing up. Because I feel like that was one thing that led to another, and now leads to where we are, and we are getting nowhere with this plot. And we've wasted now 7 episodes on a storyline that you just wrote your way out of.
I didn't mind episode 1 and 2, like the breakout of the breaking up MM and Frenchie them out of jail. It's just, for me, it's just been 3 to 7 has been ridiculous, because if you took the V1 storyline out of there, maybe we would have seen Starlight's recruits that are Supes, because she has to have some Supes somewhere working with her, you would think at least, but you could have seen them. Maybe they were going to mobilize on the tower. Maybe they were going to jump Homelander and they were going to have to fight the rest of the 7 that's on Homelander's side. That would have been better. That's kind of generic, and that would have been better. You could have spent more time seeing what Starlight was doing in that year. Maybe she got some better training and learned how to actually fight so she could take somebody after 4.5 seasons. So we could have done anything. We could have had more time with Noir and Deep, other than the podcasts after the show. There's a lot of things we could have got done other than like
in 4 episodes.
Other than like let's all go look for the V1 each episode, and then wild antics occur. Homelander wants to be God. I was like, man, I could have done without all of that. So this episode, I don't know if you know, Eric Kripke said in the interview that first of all, Soldier Boy is not going to be in the next episode, which
makes no sense.
Christ. Like, hey, I'm gonna give you the V1. I'm going to leave. Damn, locked up again.
he's just in the cryo chamber.
Come on, man. So, but they said they're gonna tie up all the storylines, all the plot lines that we need tied up in the show. That's a lie. You can't. No. You cannot, because I thought the last episode would be 2 hours at least, maybe an hour and a half. It is 105 minutes. Not 105 minutes. I'll start. An hour
65 minutes.
Yeah, well, I say 105. An hour and 5 minutes, which means it's like what, 56, 57? No way. We don't know where Ryan is. We don't know what Ryan's doing.
Nope.
We don't even know what Stan Edgar's doing because he wasn't even in last episode.
Nope.
So he's just they just like, are they forgetting that there are other characters in here that they have to show us sometimes?
Well, they didn't forget about Dog Knot and Cat Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you use your resources wrong here. You didn't flesh out the character or wrap up the characters that we needed to. We have a new main character that you didn't flesh out at all. Old Father's just going to be some side because you don't have enough time to wrap him up. And think about it. 4 episodes. Basically got not much out of them. You still have Huey and Starlight's relationship problems we've never addressed. You still have these Gen V kids where you have to give something to make people want to see them more. You haven't had time to do that. They got 2 minutes of screen time in episode 7. 2 minutes. Like you said, Marie Monroe comes in here to help them out. Could have been an episode leveling her up, showing her training. Now, like I said this. I said episode 7, they wrote themselves in a wall because if you have Starlight take out some major character, I am going to come on here and cuss people out. If you have Marie Monroe take out some character, I'm going to come here and cuss people out because they've already established they can't do that. Yeah. The only character now that you have that poses a threat, because it would have been Soldier Boy, it would have been Kimiko, or been your last hopes. Soldier Boy ain't going to be there. He's now out. So, in which he was the main part of this V1 storyline. So to have him taking him out doesn't make any sense. So now we're down to basically Kimiko is the last hope for the boys, and the only way it would actually make sense. Yeah. It's just wasted time here when all those characters could have been up to being able to take Homelander out now in this final stretch along with Butcher and the rest of the crew. So, like I said, those storylines, that V1 storyline has wrecked this season.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing more of Ryan this season and seeing what he's been doing in Russia.
Another character.
We got none of that. The Gen V characters I don't necessarily care about, but I do think it's silly that you brought them in for the first part of one episode. Hey, we don't need you. We just wanted to meet you in person and tell you that. Like, what? It was a waste. And just instead of, I would rather explore more of Soldier Boy and Homelander's daily activities along with everybody and seeing these people's plans and how they plan on wiping each other out than this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, or Sage actually have a real plan. that would help too.
I'm hoping this is the thing also. Even if Sage's plan was like, I got y'all, that wasn't my real plan. I had a real smart plan. At this point, I'm like, well, does it matter though? Because you already messed up everything else. It doesn't matter.
We don't have time for that.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, and to the fact that like episode 7, we just wasted the time with Sage. Just like we thought, like, oh, we're actually gonna see her try to fix the situation she just created. She spends the whole time high, lobotomized, watching TV. Yeah. Like, helps in the end to be like, okay, well, there's. And I don't even like the way they wrote that. Well, I gotta help you with this. I changed it 3 times. It should work. Now we just have to buy it works because we didn't have the time for her to actually be going through and doing something to this plan. It was a Butcher Frenchie thing. Yeah. Oh, it's just, there's just so much wasted time. They left so much meat on the bone in this season to, like, and a lot of people say this, like, you think about Game of Thrones, they had a lot that they were doing and they were throwing it at the wall, and like they said, well, I had a conversation with one guy, and he said, well, they ran out of material. And it was like, I don't think the season was bad because they ran out of material. I think the season's bad because they didn't spend the time to execute these things properly. And I think it's the same thing here. Now that we're back into the final episode, they didn't spend time to finish things properly. And now in the finale, it's already kind of ruined because either, like you said, you're going to leave stuff that you don't solve and don't flesh out because you don't have time to do, especially in an hour. You don't have time to do that, and things just now have to work. Like there is no sense of any type. Like, is anything the boys do not going to work? I have no opinion on that because I think everything they do has to work. You only got an hour, so now they're just now every character that is a protagonist, smartest decisions. Nothing they can do goes wrong. Like you're rushing, like Homelander. Everything he's going to have to do to lose is going to have to be a grave mistake all in a row. Like. He's got to make all the worst decisions all in a row. The boys have got to make all the best decisions all in a row to end this in an hour and have it actually go somewhere.
I just don't know where it's going to go. I guess it's going to go into the boys Mexico. I don't know what they're going to do with Soldier Boy. Maybe they'll have him show up in the boys Mexico. I would assume so because that's a lazy way to just end the character when you're going to have a prequel show of him. Like that's just lazy.
Yeah, the prequel has nothing to do with what's going on right now.
Yeah, so I would hope that he's going to be in the next season. If he's not, I'm gonna be like, what is going on here? What was so he's just going to be in there forever? Just what's going on?
Yeah,
so
I don't think any of the boys are coming, or any of the boys that in this show are coming back from Mexico. I don't think any of them are going to be there. I thought it was going to be like a continuation of maybe Ryan and Marie and some of the Gen V people and some new people.
Oh, it's all new people?
I don't know that for sure, but that's certainly what I thought. I mean, I thought half the boys would be dead. Why are they showing back up, especially after Homelander's dead? They ain't going. They ain't about to deal with another Homelander. Like, yo, I quit. Like Marie, y'all go handle that. I'm not doing that no more. If they came back, I'd be like, what are you doing?
I thought it was going to be some of the Gen V people. Ryan, that's why I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the younger people, but it's not even going to be them.
I think that is what it's going to be, and not the older boys, but like the younger ones.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, so like I said, they got an hour to wrap up, but just want a little talk on this Gen V. I think Gen V has absolutely wrecked this season. We talked about it before, and now we were down to no time left, and it doesn't even matter at this point. Does a V1? I mean, not Gen V. Does a V1 even matter at this point? No, not really.
You could have. You know what's funny? You could have replaced those 4 episodes with Homelander fighting Godalkin.
Yeah, I mean, I said that a long time ago. That was a better storyline and a leveled up Marie.
Should have kept him alive, and it would have been a nice little 3-way fight or 4-way fight. And then you got the boys too. But
that was my argument in this episode 7 rant. I thought Gen V season 2 started this downtrend, but anyway, we're gonna break down more things. We're also gonna talk how Soldier Boy's situation in this final season has kind of ruined the season as well, and just a couple other things as we think about it, but. Boys content dropping. We're trying to get 2 videos daily, so cross our fingers, no promises, but we're going to work as fast as we can to get these out. Scotty, people have seen us here. They've liked the video. They hit the comments. They let us know what they thought is coming in the finale and their thoughts on V1 in this season. Where else can they find us at?
You can find me on the solo channel on TikTok, Kuronocomics. You can find us on Minor League Films on all social media and MLF Shorts on all social media.
There you go. Look forward there. Leave some questions down below for you to answer that. But again, leave those comments for us. Let's continue the conversation all season long. All that good stuff. We will catch you next time.